All right, everybody. I'm sure everybody has noticed all of the executive orders Donald Trump has been pushing out, and also the people he's been putting in place. And I hope people like Kash Patel do focus on what they promised they said they were going to do. And up at the forefront of that would be releasing the Jeffrey Epstein list, and hopefully information that follows that, right? We have people on this client list like Prince Andrew, Leonardo DiCaprio, President Donald Trump, Bill Gates, Alan Dershowitz, Stephen Hawking. It's a whole slew of people from different categories of life. But I think the most important step following releasing who were on these lists and what criminal activities they were doing is understanding what this information was being used for and how it was being used. Because something nefarious was and probably still is going on. I'm sure the Epstein list and the information he had didn't die with Jeffrey Epstein. It's probably going on. This type of business, modus operandi, just dark information gathering is super important for whatever organizations out there can use them. But I'm sure the FBI and CIA have their hands and fingers in this in some sort of way. We have seen in the last 2 years with President Biden that he obviously has not been running the show, that he obviously probably doesn't even know what and when and where he was signing things. Somebody else was pushing papers in front of him, if not signing for him. And again, I'm not trying to just throw terrible shade at him as if I hate him and I'm going to put Donald Trump, on a pedestal. Because obviously I'm saying here that Trump is on the Epstein client list. I'm not saying he did anything bad. I'm not saying the other people that I mentioned did anything bad. What needs to be found out and put in light is who did the bad things and what their compromising information was being used for. Because somebody didn't just gather this for their own personal pleasure. This type of compromising information being used against these people to push a narrative, to control data, to control perspectives in whatever preferential way that these organizations want. We have seen what happened with the Hunter Biden laptop and many other numerous things. I don't want to say things because I don't want my videos getting banned for whatever reason. And I know that sounds conspiratorial, but I've already had one video that I didn't mention anything negative about the jab get taken down before it even went live. And I literally didn't even attempt to put any sort of personal thought about what was being said about that. It was using other people's information that are tied into science, talking about the matter, and it just got taken down. Anyways, back to the matter at hand. Something and somehow and some way we need to figure out what this information was being used for and how it was manipulating global politics, global economics, and global society. There is no reason this type of information wasn't being gathered if it wasn't being used for this. It wasn't personal pleasure. Something was happening, and that's the stuff we need to figure out. It shouldn't stop with just releasing the list. It needs to show all of the evidence and data gathered from that information, and it has to show what was being done with this. And I think that's the most important part. We have to start understanding what and how we are being manipulated daily in our lives. As we have seen, controlling the narrative is extremely important for these alphabet agencies.